Hi. Hi and welcome. I'm Nathan Putnam. I'm the Director of Metadata Quality here at OCLC, and I'm going to talk about our linked data strategy in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So my goal is for you to better understand why linked data, what we have been doing with linked data, and where we are going with linked data in the future. I will get this eventually. Okay, so I want to start out with the fact that we have a data problem. We have a library community data problem. Our current standards do not result in data that is easily shared, managed, or discovered by our users. And it's not taking advantage of the technological opportunities offered by the semantic web. Linked data can solve this by being contextual, intuitive, and international. Search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing, they can't interpret MARC, but they can interpret linked data. Computer systems don't know what to do with MARC, and MARC certainly doesn't provide all of the contextual relationships that are needed for efficient methods of discovery. So knowing these outcomes, linked data leads to greater visibility on the web and a better user experience. We will reap the benefits of the better outcomes, new functionality, and, very important to me, cleaner data as quality control person. This includes greater breadth of descriptive powers, describing things like events and ralias, which our current standards, MARC, they don't do very well. So, at OCLC, we have published well over 20 billion RDF triples extracted from our records and available authority files. We believe that this is the largest aggregation of library linked data resources. Our work with VIAF and ISNI allow libraries and partners to associate their works with organizations, people, and just things. So for example, WorldCat.org encodes bibliographic data as linked data using schema.org. We have over 200 million works in WorldCat Works. Our VIAF clusters authority data found within different languages as in different scripts, bringing them all together. ISNI uniquely identifies our identities of contributors to content. And finally, there's FAST, which is our faceted application of subject terminology, derived from the Library of Congress subject headings. FAST allows for the faceted version of LCSH and includes other links to the LCPCC, name authority file, VIAF, geonames, and Wikipedia. So I can confidently say that no other library organization has created and shared more linked data than OCLC. We know that linked data brings new contextual relationships to the WorldCat world with opportunities to modernize and improve both library and, very important, patron workflows. This makes OCLC well-suited as a data hub for the library community, and it's recognized by several of our member libraries. To enable continued support and use of linked data, we have implemented, experimented, and worked on several projects that use linked data technologies. So what have we done? What have we done so far? OCLC is one of 52 consortial members for the International Image Interoperability Framework, also known as Tripleif. Staff in both OCLC product and OCLC research are active contributors in several of the Tripleif working groups. We have also made Tripleif IPs foundational to the development work in Content DM and our digital management system in order to provide uniform and rich access to the resources found in Content DM sites. With Tripleif, Content DM collection owners can showcase their resources in new ways and give scholars and researchers better options for viewing and comparing visual resources within and across repositories. Tripleif lets you zoom in on images quickly, build virtual collections, and then share those collections with others. Patrons can view and study hundreds of thousands of books, manuscripts, and images. And because of the linked data and standard web protocols, Tripleif makes it easier to parse and share the digital image data, migrate across technology systems, and of course provide enhanced image access. We've also been working on a linked data prototype. The goal of the prototype was to create, reconcile, and manage library data by using linked data and entity relationships. It ran from December of 2017 through 2018, and 16 member libraries participated in the group. When the pilot ended, there were 1.2 million entities and included data from VIAF, Wikidata, and WorldCat. So the member libraries listed here were the participants for the prototype, and they engaged in a variety of activities, including creating entities and actively discussing the issues and the workflows. We utilized open source Wikibase platform that the partners worked together to develop practices for editing and reconciling statements. New ways to visualize the data were explored, and new mechanisms were investigated to load data and retrieve from external systems. No longer were we stuck within the MARC silo, and we could seamlessly integrate descriptions from outside resources. The prototype was successful in that it allowed partners to explore the entity ecosystem for creation and editing. It was also successful in building a community of users who can create and edit data. So for manual creation and editing of entities, Wikibase was the default technology as mentioned earlier. It has a powerful and well-tested set of features that speed the data process and assist with quality control, again, quality, and data integrity. The interface shown here allowed participants to view, edit, and create statements about entities. Statements such as birth date, occupation, place of publication, the whole gamut. Searching for entities as you type was supported by the MediaWiki API and was incorporated into the prototype's user interface. As you began your search, a list of potential things you are searching for appears along with disambiguation information. So for example, here I was searching BOSTO, Boston University comes up, and under here it says a private research university in Boston, Massachusetts, in case you didn't know. So at one point during the prototype work, the partners, those 16 partners, requested a friendlier search interface to view the entities, so we built an explorer. It brought in data from other sources, such as Wikipedia, and a richer environment for those searching in the system. The text blocks here next to Mr. Lincoln is actually coming from Wikipedia, so there was no cataloger entering all of this text in that field. The Explorer was also better at highlighting the relationships from one entity to another, such as places associated with an entry, the creator of a work, or relationships from one person entity to another person entity. Okay. Moving on to Bibframe, we do continue to work with the tools provided by the Library of Congress. OCLC research has spent a lot of time transforming WorldCat data into Bibframe data, resulting in several conclusions on how to proceed forward in the future. Two of them that I'm going to mention. The first one is identifiers for works are very, very important, and they're very, very important at the beginning of the process. So fortunately, with the clustering that we do with WorldCat, we already have those work IDs, and we can insert them into the MARC records and supply those at the beginning of the transformation process and not have to reconcile them afterwards. The second noteworthy conclusion is that when an entity is not associated with the URI, you end up with a blank node, and basically it's uninteroperable. You can't share it well. So OCLC research came up with hash URIs to avoid these blank nodes and actually create something usable. And basically minimizing them and making the whole thing more interoperable. With these and other conclusions, we have tested graph modifications on WorldCat and will continue working on Bibframe in the future. Finally, I want to present some data from the third International Linked Data Survey for Implementers. If you are interested in all of the data, then you can go to the URL found down here at the bottom of your screen. So to highlight some of the data, the first I want to talk about is published linked data. And the top reasons that implementers wanted to publish linked data was to expose the data to the web, demonstrate what could be done, and then they just wanted to give it a try. They wanted to play with experiments. The graph here shows differences between the 2015 and the 2018 data, and for the most part, all of the data types increased in what was published. Barriers for execution included a steep learning curve, inconsistent legacy data like those MARC records, and then of course selecting the appropriate ontologies. In terms of consuming linked data, the top reasons that the implementers provided was to provide a richer experience. Again, they wanted just to experiment with it, and then to be more effective with their internal metadata management. You can see an increase in 2018, so that's the yellow, for FAST and WorldCat.org, and you can see a large jump for Wikidata with yellow, and this is primarily due to the fact that libraries all over the world are playing with Wikidata and how it can help with their linked data solutions. So top barriers for consuming linked data include issues with reconciling the data, so this is the matching, the disambiguation, and the aligning of the data. Non-usable or non-reusable and missing URIs, that's that blank node thing, and then of course unstable endpoints. Okay. So, having shown what we've done, or some of what we've done, what's in store for our future? These next couple points are going to be high-level talking points, but they create the foundation that's in the works for future services that graph data in a production environment. One that builds upon what was learned through the experimentation, leveraging all of our technologies, and fulfills the needs of our library members. I like this next statement. It's a little over the top, but I think you'll like them. Okay, so we will break through the shackles of record-based thinking and processing. So our goal is to cultivate the understanding of entity relationships while working with our members on workflows and procedures. Recording entity relationships is very different from cataloging a record, from cataloging an item. In addition to continued work with Bibframe and schema.org, we will offer more MARC translations to other ontologies, such as Onyx and Dublin Core. Scalability will also be a key factor, and we recognize that not one size fits all. After all, our OCLC members are a very diverse group, and they range from all over the globe. And finally, we know that MARC will not disappear. This means continued support for the libraries who need to use MARC, at least for the short-term time, years. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your kind attention and the people who showed up throughout. If you're interested in learning more about OCLC's linked data initiatives and strategy, there's a link down here with a very nice highlight summary, oc.lc/linked data summary. And with that, I say thank you.